You don't actually suck. Your body is not broken. You can do this. You can figure it out. You can find a way to make this work for you. Hi, I'm Meg. Welcome to plantfitmeg. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm an online health and fitness coach, and on this channel, I like to share my adventures with weight loss and getting fitter and getting stronger, as well as healthy lifestyle tips, mistakes I've made, and things I've learned along the way, what's working well for my clients, and easy plant-based recipes. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate you joining as part of the plantfitmeg community. I've had a lot of requests to create more weight loss content, so here we are with another weight loss related video. Today I want to dive into weight loss mindset. Don't click away. Sometimes when I start talking about mindset, people get a little bit unsure about where it's going and sort of skeptical that this video will be helpful to them, but everything stems from your mindset. So you can have the most wonderful, perfect plan. If you can't follow that plan, if you can't adhere to it because your mindset is not allowing you to follow through and do the thing, then you're stuck. So working on your mindset along with having a plan in place, of course, and taking action is the secret sauce to weight loss success. So today I want to dive into my 4 C's of a healthy weight loss mindset that will have you feeling confident, prepared, ready, able to learn and grow and change and lose the weight and make the progress that you want to make. So the first big mistake that can come up when we embark on our healthy weight loss adventures is the all or nothing mindset, and also trying something, feeling like you screwed it up, and then just completely giving up. I've definitely been there before. I have had periods in my life where I definitely succumbed to this and definitely thought that anyone who did have weight loss success was going all in, was 100%, was perfect, or that people just were naturally thin, naturally that way, naturally fit, and they didn't really work hard for it. They just kind of looked that way. And for context, I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. And so I'm sure that had an impact on the way that I viewed weight loss and body image and all of these things. And that is definitely a topic for another day, because that in and of itself could be a whole nother video. Let me know if it's one that you're interested in seeing. But I definitely didn't have any compassion for myself. And I definitely would see other people in bigger bodies than mine or smaller bodies than mine, and I could always appreciate that they were beautiful. I could always appreciate that they were lovely. And then somehow for myself, I couldn't see that, or I never had that compassion for myself to see the beauty in my body. And also I couldn't have that self-compassion in terms of if I was trying to lose weight and trying to do something positive for myself in terms of eating a healthier diet or getting into the gym or just being more active, I would always restrict too much, overdo it with exercise, completely burn myself out, and then go back to my old habits of ordering takeout and eating a lot of junk food and all of these things. So the solution to this is compassion. Compassion for yourself. Being aware, first of all, that your worth is not related to the number on the scale. Your worth is not related to the size of your body. If you want to change your body, and if you're in an unhealthy state and you want to be in a healthier state, or you have aesthetic goals, that's completely fine. That's totally cool. Nothing wrong with that. And at the same time, your worthiness has nothing to do with the way that you look. The other thing here is that if you make a mistake, if you mess up, if you maybe overeat, I have a whole video about that. I'll link it here in case you want to check it out. If you miss a day at the gym, if something happens, don't freak out. Allow yourself that compassion for yourself that you would have for somebody else. The kindness, the understanding, the support, the encouragement, all of those things that you would turn outwards to somebody else who is trying to lose weight and trying to improve their situation. Return that back to yourself and be compassionate and kind with yourself. You can be disappointed in yourself, feel what you feel, and at the same time, keep going, move forward, and give yourself some grace. Another big mistake I've made on my weight loss adventures is not being truly honest with myself and thinking I was being honest with myself, but not really being completely truthful and completely honest and completely accountable to myself. So this can come up with the I've tried everything mentality. I've tried everything, nothing works. Or I'm doing everything right and I'm still not losing weight. And that frustration that we get, that we just throw our hands up in the air and give up essentially because we're so frustrated with the situation. And the antidote to this is curiosity. Get curious. Am I really doing everything right, quote unquote? Have I really tried everything? Am I doing this in a way that fits into my lifestyle that's actually sustainable and healthy for me? Being radically accountable to yourself, being really self-aware, and just taking full ownership of your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions, your routines and habits, what you're doing and how you're doing these things. Acknowledging mistakes that you've made without being terrible to yourself, refer back to compassion, and being very straight up and very frank with yourself and very honest with yourself about what you're actually doing, what you can change, what tweaks you can make, being really committed to learning and growth in the process and staying curious throughout so that you can continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to change, and make positive steps towards your goal along the way. Knowing that there are going to be setbacks, it's not a linear situation. It's supremely rare. I would say it almost never happens that it's just a completely linear process that someone commits to a diet and then loses all the weight and it's just a gradual decline all the time and it's sunshine and rainbows the whole way through. There are going to be challenges, and I think if we know that there's going to be challenges, but that we can rise to them, get curious, and continue to learn and grow and adapt, then we're in a much better situation to continue this process. With this curiosity, we can figure out how to work around obstacles, problem solve, and empower ourselves to continue to make positive changes and make the progress that we want to make and get to where we want to go with our healthy weight loss goals. Another big mistake that I've made and that I've seen a lot is this lack of self-belief, this lack of confidence, this thought that I can't do it. I'm so full of self-doubt. I suck. I know what to do, but I myself can't do it. Other people can, but I can't. I'm not capable. Or my body is just destined to be this way, and just kind of throwing in the towel and saying, well, it's just the way I am, it's just the way it is, and I don't have any control, and not having that self-belief and confidence. It's really hard to achieve anything if you don't believe that it's possible. If you think about going through school or doing a job or anything like that where you've had to achieve something, if you didn't think that you could actually do the thing throughout the whole time, and you were constantly telling yourself that you weren't good at it, that you couldn't do it, you'd be way less likely to be successful. And the same goes for your weight loss efforts. The solution here is to have some confidence, to build some confidence, to practice confidence, to work on your confidence, to have the belief in your ability to make things work, to figure it out, to adapt, to be flexible as needed or change course when needed. And having that inner knowing that you can do it, that you can make it work. It might take some time to tell yourself that and to really believe it, especially if you've had that yo-yo dieting history, if you've succeeded and then failed and succeeded and failed, and if you've gained weight over time. It can be really hard to have that confidence and that sense that you don't actually suck. Your body is not broken. You can do this. You can figure it out. You can find a way to make this work for you. You need to be patient. It might take a little bit longer than what you initially planned, depending on the context, depending on what's going on in your life. And it's figure outable. You can make it work. You've seen people online with healthy weight loss adventures, a healthy weight loss journey, before and afters. Before and afters don't tell the whole story, and who knows when you're looking just at a before and after with no context, how that came about, or if it was done in a healthy way or not, or what that looked like. But when you have the fuller picture and more context and more information and more of someone's story about how they went about it and how they did it, and you see that, oh, this person did it in a healthy way, and oh, this other person did it in a healthy way as well. Instead of looking at that and saying, they can do it, but I can't, look at that as inspiration to say, hey, that person did it, I can do it too. And I want to turn that back on you and say that if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not some magical unicorn that lost weight waving a magic wand or with the snap of my fingers. It took time, it took effort. I tried to make it as fun as possible and as enjoyable as possible along the way. Bottom line is, if I can do it, you can do it too. And my next C of a healthy weight loss mindset is carrying on, continuation. Essentially here, you want to keep going. If you're not where you want to be yet, giving up is not going to get you there faster. Giving up is not going to help your situation. You need to keep going. Be willing to make tweaks, make shifts as you go. If your lifestyle changes for some reason, if you end up moving or changing jobs, or if, something happens with your health or someone in your family's health, shifts and things might need to happen. You might need to slow down sometimes or take a bit of a pause. But that doesn't mean that you stop. That doesn't mean that you give up, throw your hands up in the air, and it's done. Zoom out and look at the bigger picture. I had health issues that needed addressed and needed dealt with, and I needed to have surgery. And so I was in chronic pain, and that put a real damper on me doing activity that I wanted to do and getting into the gym and eating healthfully. My partner was also dealing with health issues at the same time, and we were trying to care for our son at the same time. Basically, we were in survival mode. So it kind of put a pause on everything. And I did end up gaining a little bit of weight through that process and in that phase of my life and in that time period. And that's okay. That doesn't make me a failure. That doesn't make me someone who can't commit or can't follow through. It just means I was going through a really challenging time with my health, and I was doing the best I could in that circumstance. If I could go back, would I maybe try to do some things differently? Yes, of course, because we're always continuously learning and hindsight is 20/20. However, the situation was what it was. I can't go back in time and make changes to that. What I could do though is, once I had my surgery, recovered, got healthier, was feeling so much better, I could get back to doing what I wanted to do and lose the weight again. And I will have a video coming about how I ended up gaining 30 pounds and losing it again, and kind of my situation there, and more details about that process. But life's. Things happen, things come up. Sometimes we do need to slow down, or are forced to slow down by external forces, and that's okay. In the back of my mind, I was never abandoning my health. I was never abandoning myself. I was doing my best in the moment, and I encourage you to do the same. Do the best you can in that moment, in that day, in that week, in that month. And it might look a little bit different month to month, week to week, day to day, different levels of energy. I didn't sleep well the night before. What are you capable of? What can you do? And continue, carry on, keep going. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you found this video really helpful and that you'll come back to it. If you need more support, I will have my email address listed below, so you can contact me about my coaching services and we can book a discovery call. I am taking on a few more clients at the moment, so definitely reach out if you want some additional support. Share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to hear what has worked well for you in terms of weight loss mindset, or what resonated with you from this video. What have you found particularly helpful and particularly useful? Let me know what you'd like to see on the channel next. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Stay well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!